So you think you're prepared for the next city release in the Upland metaverse, but you're not. By following these 8 simple steps, you will have a leg up on everyone else before the city release. The biggest question you probably have ahead of an Upland city release is, how much are these properties going to cost me? I'm going to show you a super important hack that can help you figure this out before the city is released. I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide. On this channel, you can learn everything you need to know about the Upland metaverse, tutorials, strategy, tips, tricks, and a lot more. Please hit that subscribe button and share this with a friend. So typically when a new city is released in Upland, first you have the airport or train terminals that are minted in that city, and usually there is nothing else that is available to mint until the city is actually released. As an example, this is ahead of the Tokyo city release, and we can see that Upland has actually minted one property here for people to start launching themselves from here in order to get to areas of the map that they might want to mint. So what are the mint prices of the surrounding properties? Step number 1, in order to figure this out, you're obviously going to have to be in the city. You don't want to be late, so make sure you pick up enough cents before you start traveling and get there ahead of time. Now you're also going to have to wait for the terminals in the new city to be minted before you are able to take a flight or train there. If you're traveling internationally, make sure to take note that there are 2 different types of terminals. You want to take the yellow one for international travel and the white for domestic. Step number 2, you're going to want to wait for the properties to appear on the map. This typically happens about 5 to 6 hours before the actual city release. As you can see, the properties are light gray even though your block explorer is above them, indicating that they are locked and unavailable for mint. But now that the properties are up, we can get started. Step number 3, you're going to want to make sure that your block explorer is in range of properties. Essentially, this means that you want to be hovering over some properties where the reach of your block explorer extends in an oval shape ahead of you, beside you, and all along that black tail trailing behind you. Step number 4, you're going to click on your block explorer and the button in the middle, which looks a little bit like an apartment building. You can see the address, the price of the property, as well as its monthly earnings. Step number 5, you're going to click on one of these addresses. You can click on any property, it really doesn't matter. Now before you click on that property, you're going to want to make note of the price. Everything you see here is in range of your block explorer. Step number 6, with this property, you're going to calculate the neighborhood value. Now in order to calculate this neighborhood value, we need to know the price of the property, which we had just written down, and the size of the property. Now the base neighborhood value is the amount of UPX that you would have to pay for 1 UP squared. So what I'm going to do is take the total price of the property, which is 113,505 UPX, and divide it by the size of this property, which is 141 UP squared. Now this will give you 805. And that number 805 is 805 UPX for every 1 UP squared. Now don't think you're done here. Make sure you wait till step number 8 because that's the most important step. Next, we have step number 7, which is to calculate the mint price of the property you're interested in. Now, if I'm really interested in minting this property, which is 39 UP squared, in order to calculate how much this property will cost, I'm going to take the base price of 805 UPX per UP squared and multiply that by 39 UP squared, and I will get 31,395 UPX. Now step number 8, which is the most important step, and I didn't disappoint. Now you have to make sure that the 2 properties that we just did calculations on are in the same neighborhood. So make sure to jot down the name of the neighborhood and that base price. Wait until your block explorer starts to hover into a different neighborhood, and you can repeat this process again in order to calculate the base price of that neighborhood. In Upland, knowledge is power. So knowing this several hours ahead of the city release can help you to prepare yourself and strategize around which neighborhoods you do want to target based on the properties you want to buy, their mint prices, and your budget. To learn more about city releases in Upland, make sure to continue watching these videos below.